Hi everybody, it's Miss Becky for Storytime again. We're getting ready for a story time on Miss Becky, Miss Becky, Miss Becky. Oh look, here's my friend. Do you see her? Oh look, your leaves are falling out of your hair. This is Elsie. What did you bring me, Elsie? Well, pick it up, Miss Becky. Look what she brought me. Can you see all the leaves? I'm going to put Elsie down so I can show you all the leaves she brought me. Aren't those pretty? Where did you find all these leaves, Elsie? They were in the yard. Oh, wonderful. Well, let's start the story time and we can talk about leaves. Does that work for you? Yes, okay. So you know how we do this, right? If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. Good job. Miss Becky, why did the leaves fall off the tree? Is the tree sick? No, honey. It's not sick. It's the way it works. I don't understand. Well, let me tell you a story about trees and leaves, okay? Will that work? I'll use some of the leaves that you brought me, all right? All the different colored leaves, the red ones and the red ones like your hair, and the yellow ones and the gold ones and the brown ones. Can I use your leaves to tell the story? Oh, good. Now you're going to have to sit on my lap because I need my hand. Okay. Alrighty. This is a branch. This is a twig that Elsie brought in from one of my trees. And we're going to tell a story about this little bud right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's a little part of the tree that's just right there on the very, very end. Okay? The tree stood in the winter wind and cold, and there was snow on it, and the tree whispered to the twig and whispered to the last bud on the tiniest little twig and said, "Hold on, bud, hold on. Don't give up, don't give up." And the little bud was very quiet, and he snuggled up really tight, and he kept himself really tight, and he hung on to the branch with all of his might. And the wind blew, and it was cold and dark all through the winter. And the little bud hung on tighter and tighter. And then the tree said, "Oh, look, bud, it's getting warmer. It's getting warmer. The sun's staying up longer. The wind is not as cold. It's springtime. Now what do you do, bud? Do what you need to do." So the tree, and here I'll show you another bud. Real quick, you can see this bud. Can you see this little bud right there? Right there on the end? That's a bud. That's a baby leaf. And the buds on the tree branch said, "Oh, look, it's springtime. The tree told me it was getting warm. The ground is warmer, and the sun is shining longer, and the wind is not so cold." And the bud popped open. Can you see? Here's the bud, and it popped open right here, and it made a little bitty leaf. And then the leaf grew and got bigger and got bigger, and it just kept growing and growing. And the tree said, "Oh, thank you, leaf, thank you." See, here's a big leaf that fits on the tree. "Thank you, leaf, thank you. Thank you for being so green and so pretty and for helping feed me." Did you know that the leaves feed the tree? They do. They do. The green on the leaves is a chemical called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is in the tree leaves, and it helps use the sun and the warmth of the summer sun and the summer breezes and the warm ground and water and rain, and it soaks all of it into the leaves, and it collects all that it needs to help keep the tree alive. It does. And chlorophyll is what makes the leaves green. It's a special chemical that makes the leaves green. So the leaves worked all summer long. From the time the morning came up, the sun came up in the morning, to the time the sun went down at night. The leaves soaked up all the sun and the warmth, and they soaked up the air that we breathe. Did you know that trees breathe like we do? They do. What you do, here, I'll tell you what, you take a great big deep breath and then blow it out. In the air that you just breathed in, there's a lot of wonderful things. And one of them is oxygen, and another part is carbon dioxide. And when we breathe and exhale, we breathe in all the parts of the air, and then we blow out the carbon dioxide because we can't use it in our bodies. But the tree breathes in through the leaves, and it breathes in, and we can't hear it, but it breathes in, and then it lets it go. And remember, we blew out carbon dioxide and kept the oxygen? The tree does it the other way. It keeps the carbon dioxide and changes it to energy in the leaves, and it blows out oxygen. So we breathe and the trees breathe, and they help each other. We help them, they help us. Trees help clean the air, and the leaves do a lot of the work. And they work so hard during the summer. And then comes time when the days aren't so long, and the sun is not so hot, and the ground is not so warm, and the leaves start changing color. They go from pretty green to kind of yellow. And they're not as strong anymore because they used up all their chlorophyll. Used it all up to help the tree get enough food to last for a whole year. And then the leaves get yellower and yellower, and sometimes they get crunchy and they fall down. Oh, well. And sometimes they fall down. They fall down like that, and they fall on the ground. The leaves fall on the ground, and they turn yellow, a red. Let me turn that around. Or brown. Doesn't matter if they're big round leaves or heart-shaped leaves or skinny little leaves. Here's one that's really brown. And the leaves that were green started out as a little bud and a little leaf. They changed all kinds of colors. And they got tired. And they just couldn't hang on to the tree anymore. And they fell down. And that's why this time of year you can find leaves to put in your hair like Elsie did. See? Doesn't she look pretty with leaves in her hair? And that's how we get leaves. And that's how we get the fall. I want to show you one more time this one little branch, because this shows it all. Right here. Let me show you. Right there. Right there. You see the bud right there? That bud is going to hang on to the tree branch even when it gets cold, and it's only a branch. And the bud is going to hang on tight until it gets warm and springy, and then a little leaf will come out and a big leaf, and that's why we have fall. Pretty good story, huh? It's a good plan. It's a good plan for the trees to rest during the winter when it's cold. You don't want to dance in the wind when it's cold outside, do you? Okay. Well, that's the story of how leaves work. Now, if you want to know a lot about leaves and they have this book has wonderful pictures, and it talks about leaves in 4 different seasons. It talks about leaves in the spring and the summer and the fall. This book is really, really good. It's called Leaves, 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 and it's written and illustrated by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. This book is in the public library. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this book is published by Cavendish Press, and it's, did I say that right? I think I said it right. Yeah, it's Marshall Cavendish, okay? And it's in the public library, and you can get this book and learn all about leaves, more than I could tell you in Storytime. So that makes it a really good book about leaves and what happens with leaves. Let me put it up here by Charlie. There's Leaves, Leaves, Leaves. Would you like to learn a rhyme about leaves? It's fun. Pretend that your arm is a branch on a tree and your fingers are the leaves. Okay? Now, the branch is up in the air and the little leaves, wiggle your fingers, those are the little leaves on the tree. Little leaves start falling, falling, red and yellow, orange and brown, whirling, twirling, round and round, falling, falling slowly down. They make a carpet on the ground, and they lay there till whoosh, the wind blows by and sends them dancing in the sky, whirling, twirling all around, and then falling, falling on the ground. Little leaves falling, red and yellow, orange and brown, twirling, whirling, round and round, falling, falling slowly down. They make a carpet on the ground. Then swish, the wind goes by and sends the leaves swirling in the sky, whirling, whirling, round and down, falling, falling on the ground. We can do that over and over and over again. You want to do it one more time? Short? Okay, put your little hands up. Get your leaves on your fingers going. Okay, little leaves falling, falling, falling down. Red and yellow, orange and brown. Falling, twirling, round and round. Falling slowly on the ground. They make a carpet on the ground. And then whoosh, whoosh, the wind goes by and sends them flying in the sky, dancing, twirling round and round. And little leaves come falling down, twirling red and yellow, orange and brown, twirling, whirling round and round, falling, falling gently down. They make a carpet on the ground. Then whoosh, the wind goes by and sends the leaves dancing in the sky, twirling, twirling, round and round, falling, falling on the ground. You were just a leaf. You were like leaves in the wind. Isn't that a fun little poem to do? See how many times you can do it next time you're outside.